Everybody, this is Zero94 and today I'm going to show you guys a Dominant Pearl deck profile based on my favorite Pokemon, which is Salamence. Now this is kind of a bittersweet deck profile to make because as much as I love Salamence and DP did give Salamence a lot of different cards, including a level X, as you guys can see. This card is super cool. It still wasn't enough for it to be that great of a deck. I mean, it has a couple of things going for it, but the format was really rough and a lot of different Pokemon. Well, mainly Garchomp, but you could say Flygon too would kill this guy for weakness. I mean, you could do the same, but they could kill you a lot easier, especially Garchomp. But this is going to be a Salamence level X deck. I put a lot of effort and thought into it. I think this is probably one of the best or most consistent ways to build the deck. Format, of course, is going to be 2008, 2009, true Dominant Pearl. First Dominant Pearl set through Platinum Arceus. No Heart Gold, Soul Silver stuff. And let's get to it. So the first card, it's going to be the beautiful Salamence level X card. So one of the lucky Pokemon to get a level X. Most Pokemon didn't get a card like this in the era. So 160 HP, pretty good. I mean, all of the Stage 2 Salamences had 140 HP, so it was only a 20 HP upgrade. Other cards like Gengar, their level X is a 30 HP upgrade. But still pretty good, high HP. It does Steam Blast, 100 for 4. You discard an energy attached to Salamence. This is moderately okay. Other Pokemon can do about the same type of damage for a lot less energy, but fewer energies. But this is still pretty good, especially when we pair it up with Stormfront's Pokebody. But then the main thing that really just gave this card a little bit of hype, people didn't know better, it was the Double Fall Pokepower. So when you evolve or level up into this card, if you get a KO, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 or whatever, you get an extra prize per KO. So it's possible to actually use some attacks and get like 4 prizes in a turn, but more than likely the best thing you can hope for is just evolve into this guy, go for a big attack and take an extra prize. That should be pretty good. And that's about it. I mean, you don't get to do this every turn. It's not like broken cards like what we got now, Iron Hands EX and Arceus the Agapulco GX. That's all you get. Final Resistance can be handy. Double Retreat kind of typical. Colorless Weakness really problematic. But this is Salamence level X. We run him. Hopefully we can get that extra bonus with his effect. And just gives us some kind of edge at least. If you can get an extra prize, it's a big deal in Dominant Pearl. Okay. Next up, we got 3 of the Stormfront Salamence. Now, there's a couple of different Salamences. You can just try and do a bunch of different stuff. Use the Arceus one with Delcat to do a bunch of stuff. It's not really worth it. This is the best one. If you're going to be serious, give yourself the best chance to do anything against the top decks, you have to use this card and just favor it completely. It has 140 HP, pretty good bottom stats as well, same fighting resistance, a bigger 3 retreat, but doesn't make that much difference, 2 from 3. You won't want to manually retreat anyway. Weakness to colorless plus 30, so he can live against Garchomp. And the great thing about this card is that Battle Rush Pokebody. If your opponent has any Pokemon in play that has 120 HP or more, you ignore all colorless energy cost to this card. So basically you can do 50 for 1 and then Steam Twister does 120 for 2, which is pretty strong. Now, you have to discard a water and a fire to use Steam Twister, but when you do this, you're usually going to be getting 1-hit KOs or just softened up something with combustion, and then if you do Steam Twister, it more than likely is going to die. So that's the point. Combine this with Salamence level X's Double Fall. If we do the combo right, we can get a bunch of prizes, or 2 prizes basically. And then this, of course, is going to affect Steam Blast too. So when you get this guy out, you can do 100 for 2 basically, and only discard 1 energy, which is pretty sweet. So best Salamence for sure. Now, the idea, I guess the little perk if you would run this and run a bunch of the other ones is if you run the Arceus one, you can do like 70 for free. But it's just, if you're gonna run the level X, you're gonna run this guy, make sure you got the body active. You want to have your deck be consistent. So if I just run only 2 of this and then just run the other Arceus Salamence or whatever, it just is not very consistent. So just max this guy out, the best card, and that's all I really got to say. Really good. Next up, we are going to look at the Shogun cards, of course. We do 4 because this is going to be a deck set up through Spirit Tomb. And this is the best Shogun, once again, from the Stormfront set. It's got 90 HP, it's got the final resistance. Not all of the Shoguns have these 2 things. Best HP and the resistance. And the attacks are actually not that bad. Because we run Memory Berry, roll out 50 for 3. Then with this guy, his Poke Body in effect, it becomes a free attack. So 50 for free basically. God damn. Curse the motorcycles. Anyway, it becomes a free attack, and that's pretty good. Body Slam 20 and then a chance for paralysis. This doesn't matter too much, but it's the best one to use. Artwork wise, it may not be the coolest one, but I'd say it's the best one. When you look at the one from Secret Wonders, the one from Arceus, this is the best one to use in terms of the value it gives you. So we max it out. I mean, all just colorless attacks, it just means free attacks with the Stormfront body active and Memory Barrier. And as for the Bagon, it's going to be the same idea, just something that we can really make use of with Memory Barrier. Rage, if they hurt Salamence a lot and don't kill him, and we can make use of this Rage attack, it's going to be pretty sweet. Just do a lot of damage, and it can pretty much be free once again. If Stormfront's Salamence Poke Body Battle Rush is active, this is a free attack. Rage starts at plus 10 more damage for each damage counter. Very, very good. So you want to run this time from Secret Wonders, Bagon from that set. And nothing else really to add. I mean, if this was hard gold, you could use DC, you could do a bunch of different stuff, but your opponents would get more of an advantage when Garchomp can use DC. So this deck is probably better in just the DP era where it belongs. But yeah, max out the Bagons, of course. 4 and 4. Then we do double Blaziken level X. It might be a bit strange to see this card in this deck, but there's a really good reason for it. Obviously, we rely a lot on our Poke Body, and of course we got the Memory Berry and the Bagon sort of Rage strategy to fall back on if we can't use Salamence's Battle Rush, but we still want to out to Dialga G level X, and this is the best one. That card shuts down our body, and that guy is commonly paired up with Garchomp, so it's just a world of trouble for Salamence. It would be an unbeatable matchup. With this guy, maybe we got a shot. I don't have the SP engine, but being able to do Jet Shoot for 2 for 80, even without the energy gain, is still fast enough. It's going to get the job done, 1-hit KO. I run Fire Energies in this deck anyway because of Salamence, so it makes sense. Getting that fire coverage is pretty sweet. I mean, it's an SP Pokemon too, and it's going to be a basic. It's going to benefit from Snow Point Temple, which you guys are going to see pretty soon. So there's a lot of merit to it. I mean, the basic form, this guy is also pretty useful, getting things like Claydol stuck with Lunar Flame, or just pulling other support heavy retreat Pokemon, can stall for some time. Not bad. I mean, Vapor Kick isn't going to be very good without any support, but I guess if we play against water decks, you get the bonus, but it really is just here as a counter to Dialga. A lot of the times we won't use this if we don't play against Dialga. Okay. Then I do the double typical Claydol line, just Cosmic Power, get a lot of draw power that this deck needs to be consistent. I'll be honest, I had a version where it's basically this deck, but instead of running a Claydol line, having the Pixie Trio, like the legendary Pixie Trio from Diamond and Pearl, Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie, because it slows down SP, it slows down Garchomp and Luxray even more without giving us any drawback, and they benefit from Snow Point Temple too. You got Uxie level X as well, so that's an option, but it just wasn't as consistent. If you didn't draw right, you could brick, and that would suck. Uxie level X and just Uxie on its own isn't quite enough. A lot of the times you're gonna brick. This is just more consistent. It doesn't really give us any other benefit besides that, but you kind of need it in a deck like this. So instead of the Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie trio, I do, the typical double Claydol, since we got Spiritombs anyway. Still do the one Uxie though, because it's just pretty good either way. Set up, draw until you have 7. If you would drop the Claydol line, you would add like a second Uxie level X, Mesprit, and Azelf from Mysterious Treasures, and then change up the supporters, drop a few BB Surge for more like Professor Oak or another draw supporter. But it just isn't as consistent as like this. I mean, of course, it is going to be worse against SP decks. Okay. And then we got the 4 Spiritomb. Gotta have it in a deck like this once again. Ugly Pokemon. And I wouldn't want to pair it with Salamence normally, but it slows SP, slows down everything, and then just gives us the chance to set up the Claydol, set up the Salamence slowly, build up a few energies. You definitely need something like this for Salamence to be serious. I mean, without it, even with the Battle Rush active, you need 2 energies to attack. I mean, get your big attack. So it's just a massive help. All the things this thing slows down. Okay. These are all the Pokemon. The stadium of choice is going to be 3 Snow Point Temples. Now, this stadium doesn't really benefit us much, which is, that's why it's a bit annoying for me to have it, but we need it because if we play against SP and we don't have this down, Salamence becomes very, very worthless. I gotta be honest. Without the Battle Rush Pokebody, you need 2 energies to do 50 for 2, 4 energies to do 120. The level X, you need 4 energies too, so we need to have that Battle Rush active. It's why I got Blaziken to hopefully deal with Dialga, and it's why I got this. Without it, the guy just isn't fast enough. So that's why we need this. Now, once again, if I had the Pixie Trio, you get a little bit more benefit. This is going to benefit those Pokemon and Blaziken too. But without those, you just only benefit Blaziken and I guess Bagons and Spiritombs and stuff. And that's about it. The bonus HP we're going to give on our opponents doesn't matter too much because even if some like Luxray has like 130 or 130 HP, it's still a 2-hit KO on us anyway. So if they don't poke a turn or whatever, it's a rough matchup. SP is going to be rough either way, but this is just necessary in my opinion. Okay. And it's a counter stadium too, I guess. Get rid of broken time space. We can use that too, and then I can just get rid of it. All right. We got the typical 4 Rosane's Research as well. Get these bitches down. Get the basic Pokemon if you play second. This is the main supporter you want to open with. Get those basic Pokemon down. Evolve through Spiritomb. Get those basic energies too. We need to get our manual attachments no matter what, turn after turn. Because this deck can't afford to be slower than it's going to be. So get those energies, especially because in this deck, I need to run water and fire. Got to make sure we have the appropriate energy, so this really helps. Max that out for sure. Then I got the 4 Felicities drawing. So it's not like I really want to discard energies and stuff like in Electivire or just... combo with discard and stuff with one of the discard power. This is just mainly because it's the best straight draw supporter, and I guess I can get rid of unnecessary things like Spiritomb, other extra supporters, Blaziken if we know we don't want to use him, stuff like that. So that's why I run her. You can do more Professor Oak if you want, but I'd rather have this maxed out. We still do the 1 oak because it's pretty solid, you know, extra draw power. Not much else to add. Put something back at the bottom of the deck, draw 3. Gotta work with what we got. Got the Cynthia as well. Great supporter when something dies, but as usual, I don't want to rely on my Pokemon dying all the time, so I just do 1 copy. She's going to be pretty good when you can draw 8. That's it. And then the triple BB's Search. So get out that Claydol as fast as possible so we can at least be consistent that way, since I can't have the Pixie Trio. This is important to get the Claydol out. Can get Salamence out, of course, Salamence level X, good stuff like that. The -1 sucks at being a supporter, but it's the best thing we can use to get Claydol, basically. I do 3. Once again, Jason would do 4, but I'd rather do like another draw supporter like Oak. Just something more consistent when you can't, when you're in Power Lock and you can't really use the Claydol, you know, having something like this isn't going to help as much as something like Oak when you're trying to look for maybe an energy or something else. Got the 1 Luxury Ball, get anything, typical stuff. And then I got 1 Premier Ball too. There's only 1 target. This would have been, once again, better in a version where you would run Uxie level X2, run the other DP legendaries, but I still want to have this because we definitely want to make use of Salamence level X as much as possible. If it dies, we use it again. If we can get that Poke Power up twice in a game, it's going to be sweet, and get a kill like that, it's just a really strong edge. So reusing Salamence level X is key, especially if they negate the Poke Power, which is going to be common, crap like that. Just a recovery card, a searching card too, to make sure we get it from the deck. Rescue Stretcher, kind of a similar thing as well, a recovery card for a Pokemon back in hand. Usually going to get like, damn, these dirts in my cards. Salamence level X, but maybe you'll get, I don't know, the regular Salamence or something else. I like to have it. And then for more conventional recovery, night maintenance, get a bunch of energies or Pokemon back in the deck. Usually what you're going to be getting is more Pokemon. Maybe Salamence, or maybe you'll get, I don't know, like a water energy. Who knows? But it's there. It's common in most decks as your recovery. Have it. Then we do the double Memory Berry. I don't want to go overboard with this, but it's just another sweet thing that Salamence can make use of. With this attached, we can use attacks from our pre-evolution, so we can do 54-3 with Shogun, free basically with Battle Rush, and then use Rage as well, which is the main thing you want to take advantage of. And it's just something for us to, you know, attack for cheap energy. You know, Rage, Bacon just needs 2, and if they hurt Salamence and it doesn't die, it's going to do a lot of damage. You know, they hit it for like 70 or something. With the, 70 plus the 10, it does base, that's 80 damage, 80 for 2. That's not bad. You can get a lot of key KOs and put some pressure with this card. So got it. Got the 1 switch, would like to have more, but space is tight, especially in a deck like this. So I just have 1. If they decide to get Claydol stuck, hopefully we can see this in time, or just switch a hurt Salamence. I guess that works too. The guy has big retreat. And then for the energies, last part for the deck, I have 7 fire energies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5 water energies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta have enough because I do want to use Steam Twister a lot in the game. If I can use it, I want to go for it. Soften something up with combustion, then attach the water, discard, and go for a big KO. Just make sure you get 2 KOs in anything at least. So that's why I want to have enough water energy, so you can get like those, maybe 5 attacks off or something. Get a bunch of attacks off. So this is a pretty fair amount. 12 energies. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Just about enough to get the job done. No overkill amount. Maybe we'll recover with night maintenance, but usually not. And this is the Salamence deck. I wish it was better, but it's a rogue deck, something like the Leafeon deck I showed you guys is stronger, I want to say. Just has better matchups, you know. It resists water, which was common back in the era, and it doesn't really have big weaknesses besides Blaziken, you could say, or maybe other random fire decks. This just has more weaknesses, being weak to colorless, and it just needs a lot more setup and stuff to work. You know, if the body gets shut down, it's rough. You don't really have any other backup attackers besides Blaziken, but it should still be pretty good. This is the best way to build it, in my opinion. Another good way would be to just add Mesprit and a Zelf too, but yeah. This with Claydol at least should be more conventionally consistent. Okay. So I showed you guys a deck based on my favorite Pokemon, Salamence. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't have too many other DP decks waiting in the wing. I'm going to show a Hard Gold Soul Silver DP deck next, I think. But I still need a few cards to build it, to have it like without proxies and shit. Waiting in the mail. So you'll have to wait for that. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like. Share the video with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. What